Happy Easter to you. Window breaking. Good morning from Garside Towers. Yes, I know, and I'm not even going to apologise. I just haven't had the time. If I can do these podcasts, I will. And I know I said I'd do more and more, but you know, the life is the, you know, it's a box of fucking chocolates, and you never know what you're going to get. So that's the way it is. I'll do them when I can. It is as simple as that. Quick disclaimer, because it is an absolute ram-packed show. A lot of fun in this. We'll have a laugh. And of course, we'll discuss the current affairs and what's going on in the news. And I swear heavily. So if you feel that you might be offended, you may be offended, put my teeth back in, of strong language, then I suggest you click off or you switch off or even fuck off. Now, there you go. Have you got your eggs? Ah, yes, not boiled eggs, Easter eggs. Am I Good Friday? Well, that's the start of it. And of course, Good Friday is the religious aspect of it. And is it Easter Sunday when Christ, if you're religious, I'm not. But I do like the, when I was a kid, I used to excel at religious education. I used to love reading about all the parables and I used to read, actually, the New Testament. But I never went to church, and I'm not religious in any way, and I don't believe in God or Jesus, but the story is fascinating. You know, and I watched the movies as well. And I remember that, who was the British actor who played Jesus? Was it Robert Palmer? Not Robert Palmer. He was in with Jasper Carrot in the Detectives. Him. Well, I can't remember his proper name, but he played Jesus, I'm sure he did, in one of the biggest epics. It was like Goldwyn Mayer. It was one of the big epic Jesus films, you know, the big biblical films. And I'll never forget, and it was from the 60s, I think it was. And John Wayne was the Roman soldier. And he had a sort of cameo part at the end, John Wayne, and I'll never forget. He actually said in his John Wayne voice, he's the soldier with the spear, and he's looking up at Jesus on the cross and so forth. And he says, and he only says a few lines, and this is what he says: "Truly, this man was the Son of God." The John Wayne voice. You think that I sorted it out, wouldn't you? The director. No, John. You know, no, don't. You're not in the Cowboys now. You're not. You know, you're not in Chisholm. Yeah, you have to say it like a Roman would, and say it without that drawl. You get off your horse and drink your milk. You know. Brilliant. One of my favourite all-time actors, John Wayne. Right, let's Avanti. Let's crack on with the news. Yes, lots going on. We'll have a look at the main story is about Assad, President Bashar Assad, and he's the head of the beleaguered head of Syria, isn't he? God, that thing seems to have been going on forever over there, and the main story is about him and the accusations of him using chemical weapons. I won't say anything now. We'll wait till we go on to that. Donald Trump. He's never far away, is he, President Trump or Donald Trump? And of course, he's. I love this story. Apparently, ISIS have been sort of branching out, like they do. And they've been seen in Afghanistan, and apparently they were in a network of tunnels. It happens a lot, doesn't it, with these people? They seem to find these tunnels like fucking rats, aren't they? Always underground. It's like that in Gaza, you know, burrowing tunnels and then fucking popping up with rocket launchers. Fucking human moles with ground-to-air fucking missiles. Yeah, deadly, even so. And anyway, they've sighted these fuckers in tunnels, and they've dropped this bomb, and it's called the MOAB, and that means mother of all bombs. It really does. Fucking thing. It looks like an airplane. We've got fucking fins on it and everything. It is practically a nuke. That's the only thing that's missing from it is fucking plutonium. or uranium tipped, whatever it is, and it's killed 36. Is that all? A fucking bomb that size that'd take a town out, and it's only killed 36. It's the world's most powerful non-nuclear bomb ever used by the United States military in combat, and it was dropped on... I'm surprised. I thought they would have used bombs similar in World War II, especially when they were dropping them on fucking Berlin and Dresden. But anyway, no civilians were affected by the explosion, the ministry said. They always put that in, don't they? Isn't it weird now, wars and strikes and bombings, that the emphasis on not to harm... this would be unheard of, wouldn't it, years ago? You know, if you said to sort of a German commander or even a British commander or an American that, you know, when we drop these bombs, we must make sure that we don't harm any civilians, or there'll be fucking hell to pay back home with the folks in the newspaper, they'd fucking shoot you, wouldn't they? They'd just pull a gun out and say, I've had enough of this. You're a fucking idiot and you deserve to be shot now. And that's it. You know, fucking, that would be all over, wouldn't it? Bye. They treated us fucking idiots, wouldn't they? They would be absolutely, these people would be astounded that you'd even come out with something like that. Collateral damage. It's tragic, it's terrible that people get hurt in wars. Well, that's the way it is. And these fuckers, especially these Arabs, and I'll touch onto this a little bit more on with the main story, they know this, that the West have got the jitters, and they get absolutely savaged and crucified by their own media if civilians are hurt. You know, and because you see all these pictures, don't you, of bombed hospitals and schools and people paraded and fucking fought. It's amazing, isn't it, how they get the composition. And again, more on this, because I want to leave all this for the main story. So yeah, they've dropped this fucking bomb, and it's called an air blast bomb as well. There's another word for it. It's sort of an air blast. I think we have a very similar one, don't we, the Brits? What's ours called? It had a name for it, and what it does, it burrows down. It doesn't detonate on impact. It's that heavy and that sort of, and it has a sharpened point where it cuts through. Because it's dropping at such a velocity, it can smash its way through underground or into a bunker or a cave, and then it blows up. It's on a time delay. I did know the name, but I'm sure BAE make them. British Aerospace or Marconi Weapon Systems, British, we make the best. We've got the best ones. We always have. And we export them all to really user-friendly countries like Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that's the way it is. It's the GPS guided, and it was dropped from an MC-130 aircraft that's similar to a Hercules. And it's carried on a special cradle. You always get the feeling, don't you? The unsung heroes for me in the Air Force are the ground crew. You never hear of them, do you? You only hear of the flyboys, the pilots, and so forth. But the ground crew are the real heroes. I mean, these fucking guys are playing around with fucking deadly toys, aren't they? They're fucking wheeling these things around on fucking trolleys and cradles. And, you know, and there have been instances where they have gone off and blown them all to fucking millions of pieces. And when you're sort of trundling one of these things, it must be absolutely, you know, they've got to have balls of steel, haven't they, really? And these are the guys that make sure that they go off right and that they go do what they're supposed to do. Unsung heroes, ground crew. And these guys will have loaded this monster onto this aircraft, and then there you go. But... they said they saw fires from miles away. And what's tickled me, what's made me laugh is this, what's he called, the president, is it Karzan or Kazi? I wish I could do a toilet flush on me special effects, but I can't. Well, anyway, Mr. Kazi is absolutely outraged. He's the president, or was the president of Afghanistan. I'm not sure if he's still president. And he's going fucking nuts. He's saying the Americans have got some nerve detonating experimental weaponry in his country. Which I thought was hilarious. You know, they've got some, what next? You know, some fucking never heard of before aircraft, and there's fucking laser beams, fucking plasma weapons being discharged, and some fucking town that was there once isn't there anymore. Yeah, well, you know, that's the way it is. It is outrageous, isn't it? It's just absolutely. And I remember seeing some footage of Donald Trump before he got to be president. And he's on record as saying, you know, if I get to be president, I'll bomb the holy fuck out of them. They beep it out. He does say holy fuck. I'll bomb the holy fuck out of them. And he's fucking, like everything else, he started as he means to go on, hasn't he? He's building the wall. He wanted to stop the certain Muslims from coming in. Not all Muslims. That was blown up, wasn't it, out of all proportion. And he's doing what it says on the tin. And he's doing, again, these people, they like North Korea and so forth, better be careful with this guy, because he will fuck them up. He's not Obama. This isn't Obama. This guy will fucking blow you to pieces. This guy will fucking send aircraft or send a submarine to you, and that'll be the end of you. They better watch it with this fella. I'm telling you now. I really do. You know, Eurovision. Yeah, from one extreme to the other. Russian broadcaster Channel 1 will not broadcast the Eurovision Song Contest next month because the country's singer has been banned from the host country, Ukraine. Well, there's obviously always going to be problems there with a Russian contestant or Russian contingent, wasn't there, representing Russia in Ukraine because of all what's been going on. It was always... But they've actually, the Eurovision have banned Russia full stop. They don't want Russia involved in it anymore. I wish they'd ban us. What a load of fucking shite. I know a friend of mine loves Eurovision. She absolutely lives for it. They have parties and everything. I used to really like it. I really did enjoy Eurovision. And then it got all fucked up. It got all bitter and twisted and fucking political. And, you know, all these countries voting for everyone, all the Benelux countries voting for it, all the, Cyprus, Greece, all voting for each other, all on the same side. What a load of fucking bollocks. You know, and it all got very biased and very sort of... screwed up really, and there's no, when that starts, there's no credibility anymore, and the standard of singing isn't as good, is it? It's not as good as it was. It's bizarre, and it had all that quirkiness that, like with ABBA and Waterloo and everything. There's none of that now. There's none of it, and the fact that we never win it and go end up the bottom all the time, that might have something to do with it as well. Fuck 'em, Rule Britannia, baby, and fuck you. We don't need it, and I won't watch it anymore, definitely. Well, anyway, Russia have been banned, and it's the EU again, isn't it? And Eurovision, the EU all tied in. They get funding from the EU, and they don't like Russia. Again, guys... And I'm looking at Brussels when I'm saying this, that the idiots that are running the EU kick a bear in the balls and you better fucking run. Keep provoking Russia, don't they? But you see, who will pick all the pieces up there if that all does go off and the EU do fucking antagonise Russia to the point where they start lobbing fucking into fucking continental missiles around? It'll be us and the Yanks that'll pick up the pieces again, because the French and the fucking everybody else will run in the opposite fucking direction, with probably the exception of the Germans. They might stand and fight. The rest of them all fucking hightail it off. I'll join them, join Russia, the Italians, and mamma mia, whose side are we on this time? Fucking unbelievable, the Italians, aren't they? I mean, they get the piss taken out of them, the Italians, especially with the running in the opposite direction and that. Fucking, I mean, the proof of that was that Costa, was it the Costa Concordia? The cruise ship that capsized, that fucking listed over and people were tragically drowned and what? It's not funny, is it, that bit of it? But apparently there was a speedboat seen fucking... heading off into the distance, and it was the fucking captain. He'd abandoned ship. And he was away in his own fucking private speedboat. Fuck under this, I'm off. And that was it. So they've got this reputation on the Italians. But I remember talking to a guy once in Black.